Hey guys, welcome back to rhrjen. I'm so glad you're here. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the poutiest of them all? It's Harold of Harold and Fraud. You guys, they are back in the news. This is basically becoming the equivalent of when they say, Harry and Meghan's olive branch. It's such BS. I'm here to talk about it. What am I talking about? New York City. That's right. We're getting the news that Harold is headed to New York City. Royal reunion? Question mark? No, it's not a royal reunion because Harry is no longer royal. Harry's set for a packed Manhattan trip at the same time as Prince William is expected to be there to host Earthshot Summit. I have so many thoughts about this. It's all BS. I'm calling it now. Harry just trying to get himself back in the same sentence as Prince William and trying to make himself important. Lots of thoughts on this. I'm Jen. Thanks for being here, everyone. Honk, honk. Where do we begin? Why is Harry going to be in New York? By the way, love it when those two go to New York because they make such asses of themselves. I can't wait for whatever near catastrophic, whatever's going to happen this time. They really do. Remember the last time it was a summit. They were throwing a mental health summit where she dressed like the massage table. Yeah, that one. So they basically crashed this event that was already going on, slapped their names on it and called it a summit. So is that, again, the grifters will be grifting. There is just no way that Meghan would ever let Harry go without her. I'm just calling it now. If he's going, she's going. And if by some weird reason she's not physically there, imagine the pap walks, the parking lot stuff, the weird hikes with Marcus, all that stuff that she will be doing while Harry is pretending to do whatever he's doing in New York. You guys, speaking of New York, this article is claiming he's there for, quote, philanthropic initiatives. Yeah, I'm sure. Is that pitching his wife for voiceover work? Is that the philanthropic initiative? But the other article I saw about this said it was for green causes. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because, again, think about like the Colombia trip we just came off of and all the, big SUVs and the security and all this. It's, again, where he's preaching things like this green stuff, like the travelist stuff. And then he's the first to, fly private and be just completely obnoxious about all of it. Listen, I always say, if you want to fly private, but don't preach to me about the dangers. I believe he said something like every choice matters, something very original such as that. And yet he's out there, again, different rules, for him. But the article goes on to say, Prince Harry is set to embark on a packed solo trip. Why solo? Why would that be? It's going to be after his birthday. So my thought was, she had to get rid of Has No Balls so that way she can spend whatever inheritance before he gets back. She has to spend it really fast if he got one on his birthday. So that way it's gone before he gets back. So he's going to go at the same time that Prince William will likely host a summit in Manhattan. So Harry will be in town to advance a number of his patronages. What patronages would those be? And philanthropic initiatives. Is that like the socio-emotional gym? Is that one of them? Spokesman confirmed to Daily Mail. What spokesman would that be? Is that Meghan? The trip is set to take place during the UN General Assembly High-Level Week and Climate Week. That's what it was. It was Climate Week. But again, somebody else pointed out, it doesn't mean he's going to be at that exactly. It doesn't mean that he got an invite to that. Maybe he'll be there, but it sounds more likely he's going to be there during the same time. It's like if I'm in the south of France for Cannes, and I'm sitting there, or the film festival, and I'm sitting there saying, I was invited. No, I wasn't. I just happened to be in the area at the same time. Side note, Dylan from Winning Communication lives in New York, so I was telling him, Dylan, you got to get out there with your camera. So he's on it. He'll be my boots on the ground. You better believe I will be talking to Dylan about this. But tell me Prince Harry or Meghan wrote this their people wrote this article without telling me they wrote this article. Because look, they refer to Prince William as his older brother. That is such a Meghan thing to do. And it's something that the Lemon Rats like to do too. I just had somebody refer to Catherine, Princess of Wales, as Meghan's sister-in-law. I was like, who do you think you are? There's so much more than that, and that's not the reason we know them. Everything doesn't revolve around Harry and Meghan. Suspect Prince William will be there for the Earthshot Prize Innovation Summit, which will be held at the Plaza Hotel on September 24th. It's unknown if the Prince of Wales will attend for sure, but he was present last year at the same event. Ready for one of the most sickening parts of this article? Yeah, good, me too. During Harry's trip, he will, quote, participate in engagements with African parks. How in the world are his people or himself or his Instagram-loving wife going to completely ignore the atrocities in the African parks that we've all been talking about ad nauseum for forever, and they're just going to ignore it except for when he needs to pad his resume and make himself look busy? Then he's going to trot out African parks and talk about it in articles like this. It's such BS and it's disgusting. And if he is going to do some sort of African park event, I wish everybody there would say, why aren't you doing anything to help these people? Then it goes on further to kiss Harry's you know what and talk about Archewell and the nonprofit that he co-founded with his Instagram-loving wife. I mean, it just goes on and on. If Prince William does come to New York, when Harry is there, it's likely that the brothers will steer clear from one another. I wonder why. It might have something to do with the way that those two grifters continually trash them to anybody who will listen in every form of media, from podcast to book to TV to you name it. They're doing it. Awful. Just awful. And I feel so sorry. I mean, I really do. I feel for the whole royal family for having to put up with this, but I especially feel for William and Catherine, who have to continue to put up with this crap. And luckily, they have each other and they have busy, meaningful, fulfilling lives. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't have to hang on every word, but I'm saying it's Harry and Meghan continually trying to drag them in the press while playing victim about all of it. It's just the same thing. It's the same hypocrisy that just makes me want to bang my head on the keyboard. So stuck on all of this. They always have to do this. They always try to schedule any kind of event that they can to try to upstage the Wales family. And what's funny is it's never in return because Harry and Meghan are not significant. They're not important enough to be like, to have, Prince William and Catherine trying to scramble and do things to try to upstage them. They don't have to do things to try to upstage them. They just naturally do. And so, there's that. And then, here's Harry pretending to be this super philanthropist. And then we just came off this Colombia trip where we saw them spend obscene amounts of money on the travel and and I'm sure it wasn't their money, but you get the idea. Obscene amounts of money were spent on the travel and the security and the clothes and the nonsense, the pomp and ceremony. For what? And then we find out what they upgraded a gym, it sounded like, but there weren't really big specifics. It was that pledge versus donated with Amber Heard we saw. It was the promises to Nigeria of a basketball court, things like that. It's just like, do they actually follow through? I'd love to know how much money actually changed hands and went to whose pocket and all that. They use people and they use things and they use causes to try to make themselves look better, but there's never any action behind it. It's fine. It really doesn't even matter because I hope that Harry, it sounds so silly to say, let him go. Let him go to New York and let's see how that works out, because we've seen the differences from things like the crowds that show for William and Catherine versus Harry and Meghan. We've seen, again, Harry and Meghan always find the drama with a near catastrophic car chase, and then we have Prince William out there jogging in Central Park, things like that. They're just such a night and day difference with them that fine, let him show. Let's see how that goes. It won't even be a blip except for the dumb things that he ends up saying. That's Jay's favorite thing. He always says, let Harry speak, because he's going to say something dumb or crazy and it's going to be fun to watch. I'm kind of that same mindset now. Like, yeah, let him speak. Let's see how he, hangs himself this time. He did it with Spare. What else you got? Oh God, guys, as more stuff about this comes out, I'll talk about it. It's not even that I'm surprised by this nonsense, but it's just so crazy. And I'm going to continue to call it out. I mean, what philanthropic initiatives are we talking about? They're using word salad again to try to confuse everybody and hope that nobody actually, thinks about what they're talking about. They can't explain what they're talking about. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would say this is probably written by Meghan, honestly, based on the word salad of it all, but there's no way she's not going. And if she doesn't, shall we start taking bets on what she's going to be doing back in Monty Shit Show? Like what things she's going to be pulling, look at me, attention grab she'll be doing, because I'm sure it's going to be weird. It's going to involve parking lots. It's going to involve, I don't know, who knows? Weird clothes that don't fit. Beige, beige. What else? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think she'll go? Is she going to New York? If not, what antics are she going to pull? Is she going to, I don't know, fly to the UK just to get that written about? She won't leave the airport, but something like that just to try to get attention on herself. Something crazy, I'm sure. I'm sure also afterwards when they separate, she's going to use this as fodder for her book too and say, he left. When I needed him to support me, he left. He went to New York, something like that. She'll play victim. I'm here for all of it. We'll talk about it as more stuff like this comes out. You know it. I am Team Prince William all day, every day. I love Earthshot. I think it's just such a cool cause, and I think it's so great the way, he actually promotes good causes. It's not about himself. He uses his status to bring attention to causes like this, and I think that's so cool and how it's meant to be, and the complete opposite of what the grifters do. Guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. You mean the world to me. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for everything. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Of course, if you want to further support the show, you know how to do it. Check out Patreon. Check out the merch. We got Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Makes the lemon rats disappear when you say that 3 times, right? I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.